everyone, so this video review is for Brave Enough to Love by Valden. If you want to check out my review, I have just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you are on my blog, then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Brave Enough to Love by Valden. This was a real emotional journey and adventure at the same time. So Jo is really dedicated to her military career. It's her life, and she's a bit put out when the daughter of a really well-known journalist who is just starting her own journalistic career is permitted to join them on a mission as a member of the press and sort of hang around and be around. So Tony, who is said journalist, just wanted to share the passionate sort of effects of war, and is naive to what is required when her and Jo start to realise that everything might not be as it seems after an event out in the field, and they both have really life-changing decisions that they need to make at this point. So it was a very gripping story about trusting judgments, not just your own, other people's as well, assessing morals, again, the people around you, and also that their beliefs and their morals on top of that as well as your own. So there was a lot to contemplate here. And then when faced with challenges that aren't clear on the surface, that's never an easy thing to do. You're trying to unpack everything, and it's a lot for you to process, especially when you're already in a potentially quite dangerous situation. So I loved the tension between Jo and Tony. It was there. It was there for the longest while, until there were moments when they both realised how much pressure the other might be under. They sort of had that moment of, it became clearer to them both that life wasn't as simple for either one as they'd assumed. And although they had different experiences and different goals from being at the heart of this action, they were both trying to achieve something similar. And if they could work together, they would actually succeed at doing so. So in the end, it was Jo. Jo really impressed me because her decisions were more heartbreaking and perhaps had the bigger sacrifices than Tony's. Tony had already gone in there quite headstrong with that decision that she needed to tell the truth about what happens behind the scenes and in an area, in a military sort of zone where war is full scale, whereas Jo was very protective of her career, the military, the reasons for decisions, what the public needed to know about things. And what I especially loved about this story was it didn't focus too much on the action of war. There was bits in there because obviously you need it for the story, and it didn't really focus on all the action. It focused on the devastation that said action causes. So there was, obviously it needed it, but the majority of the story is dealing with the devastation and the pain and the difficult decisions that everyone, no matter sort of what their rank and position in the military, in the army, they're exposed to these types of decisions, and they're not easy, and they are not as simple as you might expect them to be. And if you were put in that position, I think that's what's great, is you can really put yourself in Jo's shoes here and think about what you might do in that situation, and would you do what she did. For Jo, the moral dilemmas that Tony ended up exposing her to and forcing her to address really posed a challenge and highlighted the types of decisions nobody wants to be responsible for. They're painful. They cause physical and mental pain to somebody who has a loyalty to something, a service or something that you believe in. And you can be as honest and hardworking as you like. Jo was the most honest and hardworking, and the organisations perceived that way. But what she was encountering wasn't necessarily true in that fact. And that's hard. That's really hard. I didn't envy all she went through at all. I wouldn't want to be in those sort of positions, making those decisions. But I certainly appreciated and admired the way that Valden treated all of these, because they were very delicate subjects, and they related to Jo's day-to-day goals, and so Valden handled them with a lot of sensitivity and care, while truly depicting scenes that many of us, we can't really imagine them, we wouldn't really know, and we probably wouldn't be able to handle them either. And I think there was a lot of I can't think of the right word, but it was very personal and it was very real. It felt like you were really there with Jo, and you could really like I said, step into her shoes and imagine yourself there, but still not the severity of the types of decisions she was making. So it was a really great story, with a lot of emotional draw. You can get really invested in Jo and Tony's personal journeys and the steps towards them both finding happiness, which they really, really deserved in both their personal lives and their careers. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you will too. I'll pop a link in the description so you can grab a copy of Brave Enough to Love by Valden Bush, which I hope you will. If you've read Brave Enough to Love, would love to know what you thought of it, so please do share your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't read it yet but you're planning to read it, it's on your read list, so you're now super intrigued and thinking, yes, I really, really, really want to read that. But again, please do share and let us know, because it's always great to find out what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I hope you really get something out of it, and I hope you enjoy it too. Bye!